have like this insane post nut, like it'll just feel so much better, right? And if you're right about ETH, then it doesn't matter. It's gonna go up, right? But just the act of just selling even a little bit, I think will allow people to just at least open up your mind more, right? I think people are kind of just, too narrow in their thinking.
Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Look, we got some serious Wi-Fi issues. I'm gonna suffer through this, and I apologize for having you to suffer through this as well. I've been trying to fix some stuff, hook up more stuff, and it's just not working. So we're gonna try to get through this little Wi-Fi. I told you guys from the beginning the development we're in, even though it's a new developments, they're still building. It's just kind of like in this really big time hole, and Wi-Fi is just not great. I've got more equipment, and still no success, but we'll suffer through it. We gotta be able to celebrate XRP moving. We gotta be able to celebrate that, right? I mean, what did it hit? Did it hit like 89 cents, maybe even 90 cents? I'm thinking, so when is the dollar? When dollar XRP is gonna be interesting to see that. We'll go with the market because the market is doing what the market does. Bitcoin is retraced back to 87K. I think that's a great number for sure. It looks like Gary Gensler is out of here. Bye, Felicia. See ya. See ya. See ya, hair bear. What do you call it? Gare bear. See ya, dude. See ya. So that is good to see as well. I saw Property Rich. I saw the video with the t-shirt that Gary was wearing. I did not know that's, he said F the SEC. I didn't know that was on the shirt. I couldn't read it, but that's interesting. That is interesting. You said Bitcoin's back up to 89.5? Nice. Yeah. Chris, Brad Garlinghouse at an event. Publicly had her shirt on, had the SEC logo, and it had FBSEC. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, it is what it is, right? It is kind of what it is. That's what it was. He did that. I was shocked. I was shocked to see it, but he did do that. So we're going to go over the numbers. We'll go over the market as well. I did RP news. I think that is, gosh, finally doing something, a live stream or two ago. Coinbase has an index which has XRP and Doge in it. And then there was another, Robinhood lists XRP. And then now Bitwise comes up with a fund or index that they're trying to make an ETP. And that has XRP in it as well. So that's pretty cool. I mean, man, is that XRP is back down to 77 cents after it went all the way up to 89 cents. Golly. Went all the way up to 89 and is back down. I'm going to refresh CoinGecko. So, those are good things. So hopefully the stablecoin's coming any day now. We'll see. What was the other news, Property Rich? Something was launching, I guess a euro. Some euro stablecoin was going to launch on the XRPL. So that's pretty cool. That was good news as well, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That would be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. Property Rich says XRP is 88 cents on Coin Live Watch. So yeah, I'm refreshing CoinGecko now to get the right numbers. That seems like a big drop from 89 to 77. So My tab probably wasn't updated, so I'm going to update that, refresh it, and make sure that is good. I'm listening to a video from my guy Taiki, interviewing the meme coin guy Murad. Interesting to see Taiki come to his senses and just realize and recognize the real. And Murad actually had some different things to say this time, which I thought was good. Which is awesome. So Secretary of State, apparently President-elect Donald Trump messaged Jamie Dimon and like, yeah, we're not giving you the Secretary of State nod. So anyway, I thought it was interesting about that message. Crypto Eddie shared that this morning as well. I actually looked at I was looking at some different portfolios. One of the portfolios actually had the XRP holdings greater in value than the Bitcoin holdings. I was like, well, isn't that interesting? Now, it should be that way, but finally, it took forever, took years for it to happen. You know, this is post Celsius, but great to see it happen. Solo. Oh, Hydro, what's going on, friend? Solo has moved. Sologenic. Oh, interesting. I don't own any of those. Sologenic and Corium started to make a move. That's nice. Yep. You said the FLR is starting to move. I haven't seen anything on FLR. I have not seen it. It still seems like to me it's a penny and a half. Oh, FLR went to 1.8. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. We're going to cover this Rip on XRP news for sure. Appreciate you guys checking in. What's going on, Cali Cat? I appreciate you being here, my friend. All right. So let's go with this market real quick. SWE is killing the game. Solana's killing the game for sure. I'm glad I did put those guys in my 10% bucket. Oh, no, Solana's not 10% bucket. Solana's 90% bucket. SWE is 10% bucket. All right, let's go over here. I thought I had more SWE than I have, which is interesting. But in any case, it is what it is. Let's see, the CoinGecko. Yeah, it is. There it is. It updated. All right. All right, fam. Listen, this is according to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is at 3.09 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is about 58%. Bitcoin is trading at $89,551. Sweet. On the 30-day, Bitcoin is up 32% on the 30-day. It was nice having another teaching lesson with my Little Miss Crypto Siege on the value versus the amount of money she put in Bitcoin versus the value of it. A little learning, teaching lesson, teaching her how that stuff all works. She got some BTC at 87,000 yesterday, so that was pretty cool. Ethereum is trading at $3,049 on a 30-day. Ethereum is up 17%. Solana is trading at $210. And on the 30-day, Solana is up 36%. XRP, well, uncover Doge, which is at 36 cents. On the 30-day, Doge is up 188%. I feel like I could buy Doge now and still probably 10x at 53 billion market cap now. Was as high as 56. XRP is right on its tail. It's going to be interesting to see if XRP flips back to the number 6 spot. It's going to be interesting to see. This will be a good little test of sort of like the meme coin utility test, sort of. We'll see. how that goes there. But XRP on the 30-day is up 60%, fam. 60%. 60% on the 30-day. Cardano's up 87%. This is how you know the market is where, we got good 10, 12, maybe 12, 18 months of nice stuff. 10 to 14 months of some good stuff coming. You got Cardano up 87% on a 30-day. So at one, right, these are going to be good numbers 10, 12, 14 months from now. So that's cool to see. But Cardano moving is interesting in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But it's got to get back to at least $3. Then I'm going to give my guy a call and tell him, take profit, man. Take profit. You didn't take it at 3 last time. It was significant money. It was life-changing money. Life-changing money. SOE is at $3.39 on the 30-day. SOE is up 68.9%. So that's awesome to see. Glad we own some SOE. And what else we got going on here? Pepe coin's killing the game. Another meme coin killing the game on the 30-day up 100%. That is the market. And it is doing what the market does. Let me go back to the stream. Again, we're going to have to apologize for the Wi-Fi. Let me welcome some more people to the stream that are checking in. I appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. Still waiting. My daughter, Little Miss Crypto C's, got me a freaking Xbox S as in Sierra. Wasn't that sweet of her to do that? She did. Got me a little Xbox X. Oh, Sologenic went up to 18 cents, now down to 14 cents. Nice. I know we got a pretty, a lot of XRP holds Sologenic, so I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the people that own some of that Sologenic. All right, so let's try to cover some of this XRP news, see if any new people hopped on the stream here that I should welcome. Check the chat. The current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Okay. So the live chat is good. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. It's great to see XRP making some moves for sure. It's really hard to stream when you know the stream is not streaming well. It really is hard to stream that way. Just waiting for this thing. You know what I probably have to do is, yeah, I'll do that. Get rid of some, see if I can't help this laptop a little bit by getting rid of some stuff. What's probably the most labor intensive stuff on a laptop? It is probably the downloads, right? Yeah, probably some downloads. I know you guys are excited. Every day is going to be an awesome day. What's going on, the real big wheel? Every day is going to be an awesome day to be in the digital asset space. I'm just so happy for all of us who have weathered the storm, who have strengthened our resolve, um, and stayed in this space maybe when we didn't want to stay in this space, that type of deal. We hung in there. We had some people that left, right? They were like, can't deal with the volatility, can't deal with the downs, the retraces and the pullbacks. But a lot of us stayed, right? A lot of us stayed. I'm trying to get rid of some downloads. Maybe this will help the stream some as well. Pookie's in the building. What's good, my fan? What's going on, my bro? Hope life is good. Oh, I didn't do that. Right? I mean, you gotta. I hope you're taking good. You're gonna take profit. I hope you are. Uh, let me see. I'm trying to see what else I can get rid of. But you guys have been here for all of that, right? And you should be proud of it. No shame. Absolutely celebrate for sure. And you know, hope you have your personal goals for how much money you would like to um, have in stable coins in preparation for a bear market, that type of stuff like that. Or as Raul Paul likes to say, lifestyle chips, you know? Hope you got those planned out. I think I'm going to get rid of a bunch of these MP4s and is it 480s? Outro. Don't want to get rid of the outros. That'll help with the laptop as well. Legendary. What happened there? Where's your blue wrencher, bro? What happened? Is this a different legendary? Uh, Feet up, watching the show. Thank you, the real big. Well, I appreciate you checking in. Property Rich says everything depends on how much money you have to start your journey to becoming a millionaire. Of course, if you can buy a lot, you will get there the fastest. If not, you will need to wait until the higher numbers. Yeah, absolutely. Donald, what's going on, Donald? How are you, bro? Good morning. Happy Friday. Been accumulating XRP for 8 years. Goodness gracious. Then you have, let's say, more than 10K, I hope. If more, then you know what the numbers are. Now I see Legendary with a blue wrench. Same, hitting the like twice. Appreciate that, Legendary. So hopefully the live stream is acting right. I'm gonna delete more stuff here while we hang out and chat. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. PDF shouldn't be. All right, here's another MP4 I got to get rid of. And then I got to empty this trash can as well. Decentralization. Oh, it's two of them right here. Let's get rid of these. So again, you guys, move the trash. Yeah, Donald, I think everything should be good. Oh, Donald asked how much? Oh, Oh, thanks, Property Rich. I appreciate you helping down and out there, my guy. He did say, how many XRP do you have? How many XRP do you have to be a millionaire? Yeah. Well, it's really more so the price than how many you have. Um, right. So 60K says Property Rich is a nice number. Yeah, that is a nice number. That is a nice number. I think that might put you in the, I don't know. I remember back in the day being in the top 1% or 1%. But I don't know of XRP holders. I don't know what it is now. Remember when they used to have the XRP rich list and all that kind of stuff? But I think you're in a good shape, my friend. The key really is we really got to know the market and how bull runs act, when to take profit, that type of deal. Then for me, the strategy bear run is just most important because you make money in the bear market too if you're into DeFi. So, but the key is for me in a crypto seizure zone, right? We taking profit, we're exiting to stables, then we grow our stables in the bear market in order to buy better risk adjusted return assets. Because for me, we like to have assets that go up net year over year returns of 50% to 200%. Not just one shot when moon plays. If that makes sense. Oh, I found a bunch of more MP4s here. That makes sense. What's going on, Michael Marchese? How are you, bro? And my strategy is, had to change with the Celsius thing because of the Celsius thing. If the Celsius thing wouldn't happen, I would have hung out a lot more in F assets and that type of deal. But creating cash flow is going to be absolutely massive. DeFi, in my opinion, is the way. You'll be able to do we'll be able to do DeFi on Flare. I do DeFi in Solana and Base as well, but it's going to be cool to do it on Flare and as well. All right, let's see. I can get rid of all of these things. All right. So that's cool. I got rid of a bunch there. You know what I mean? Michael McKay's exchanged that fiat for crypto. I hear you, my friend. I don't know much about XDC, Donald. I don't know enough about it. All right, let's see. All right, so let's cover some of this Ripple XRP news, right? I think that's important. And in addition to that, some SEC stuff. How many of you guys feel for Gary Bear? How many of you guys feel for Gary Gensler? How many guys feel for that dude? Jeremy Hogan put this out. I thought it was pretty funny. He says, what is the strange XRP phenomenon known as up? So far, I've only ever known what is referred to as sideways. So funny. Somebody bought $100 worth or $90 worth for XRP, and now they made 24 bucks on that, which is interesting. Representative Mike Flood. I like this right here. The countdown continues. 67 days until President Donald Trump fires SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Gensler's leadership has been arbitrary, obstinate, and anti-innovation. Yeah, nice. This is some reporter said that as well. So this is an interesting scoop from Eleanor Terry. You guys probably heard this, but 18 United States have filed to sue the SEC and its commissioners, accusing them of unconstitutional overreach and unfair persecution of the crypto industry under the leadership of agency chief Gary Gensler. I mean, the dude's going to be out of here anytime soon. So when he's gone, what does the lawsuit really mean? I mean, the lawsuit signed by 18 Republican attorney generals details how the agency has committed gross government overreach with its regulation by enforcement crusade against the $3 trillion industry, resulting in an infringement upon states' rights to regulate their economies. The state's right to regulate their economies. I like it. Story developing and full write-up coming soon. So Fred Rispoli, attorney Fred Rispoli, I think he lost his case with ETH. He says couldn't have happened to a bigger, called the dude a name. So here it is right here, Property Rich. This little logo with Brad Garlinghouse, underneath that says F the SEC. Screw the SEC. Brad Garlinghouse posted, joined Cantor annual crypto conference today. Safe to say that the U.S. is ready to be the crypto capital of the world with the next Trump administration. Also, an apt shirt to wear on perhaps what are Gary Gensler's last days in office. Yeah, and that shirt says F the SEC on there. What does it say? The SEC overstepped this authorization from Congress and is attempting to classify crypto. All right, we said that. Gary Gensler, institutional damage to the SEC runs deep, says Stuart Alderati. His legacy of undermining American innovation and failing to uphold the law is shameful. Shameful. Now, what is this interesting tweet from Dan Tapiero, big time hedge fund guy, about XRP? I thought that was interesting that he even brought it up. Why was that? Like, it was interesting. Property Rich. Did you guys see this? It says this Dan Tapiero, again, founder CEO of managing partner at 10T Fund and at 1RT Partners. All right. So could this go back to the highs now, says Dan Tapiero? This is a $40 billion asset today. Brad Garlinghouse plugged into DC, and now Elon Musk mentions it. I don't remember Elon Musk mentioning XRP. He says, and now, like, was that recent? I don't remember that or saw anything like that. If you guys know, let me know about Elon Musk mentioning XRP. I don't remember. I'm talking about recently. I think, obviously, people in past videos a long time ago probably asked him something about XRP, but I don't remember anything recent with Elon and XRP. Dan Tapiero says, I've never understood the business deeply, but 40 billion is a big number, and it has survived despite everyone, quote unquote, attacking it. Dan Tapiero says survivors have value. Survivors have value. I just thought that was interesting that he posted that. Fred Rispoli reminded him it's actually a $72 billion asset. I don't know how he gets that number, but anyway. This person here said, could it be first time Dan Tapiero talking about XRP? Let's go. He said it's not the first time. He bought some in 2013. I've been aware of it. I just never understood it. Maybe I didn't try enough. It's had incredible performance from that time period. Many 1,000% gains. You don't get that in TradFi world. You don't get that in the TradFi world. He says, parentheses, he's an ex-VC. He says, you don't get that in anything, really. Dan is out here doing stuff, I think, because of Rao. Rao really got Dan to, you know, get more into stuff. Now, what does he mean? It works for root and FV. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's what root is he talking about? Is Dan Tapiero somehow part of Futureverse? I don't know. Teton says you should probably try using it. It's faster and cheaper to transact. He said you are probably right. I should. So good shout out for Dan for yeah. So good for Dan to be willing to go back and forth. Thank God the people he's going back and forth with were not rude. So that worked out good. So shout out for Dan for doing that, being willing to engage. But I did find it interesting that he just brought it up. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. John Deaton is in the news. Oh, Metal On Man. He says November 12th, he posted, time to say goodbye, Gary. November 8th, 2016, Trump elected. November 14, 2016, Mary Jo as SEC announces her resignation. But in any case, Gary Gensler resignation watch. Going back to 2008, SEC Chair Chris Cox informally leaked that he would be resigning before the election even happened in November. If Gary Gensler does not resign soon, it will not be in his first break with tradition and norms at the SEC. He's out. So here's the euro, this stablecoin from this Societe Generale, Society Generale. Forge has announced the launch of its Euro CV stablecoin on the XRP ledger. It'll launch in 2025. It says, with Ripple custody powering the integration, the Euro CV will benefit from the near instant settlement, low fees, scalability, and security of the XRPL. So I think that's good news. I think that is good news. These are the people who reached out to me. I still have to check out this exchange, see if I want to enter any kind of partnership there. We'll see how it goes. Keyless is in the building. How are you, miss? Alex G. Alex G, your XRP is doing a little something, something, bro. No. It got up to 89 cents. Devon Steve's in the building. What's going on, bro? Crypto Eddie has a brilliant bloke on saying it as it is at the start of her video. Oh, yeah. With yeah, I saw that. Keyless. Who's on the board of Futureverse? Dan Tapiero? Guys, I think Keyless is saying Dan Tapiero is on the board of Futureverse. Keyless is saying, Proper Risk says, Keyless, that information is incorrect. What's going on? I'm confused now. Keyless says, yes, Tapiero. She sent the link. I love Keyless. She is on it. Let's check this out. Yeah. All right. Where do you find out where it shows he's on the board at Futureverse? I mean, I think there's a reason why he mentioned Root. Is that that's from Blockworks. So Tapiero being on the board is incorrect. That's the conclusion you guys are getting to. It's interesting that Blockworks, if you're saying Blockworks did that. That's anyway. So anyway, so I mean that's good news, right? XRP hit 89 cents. I think that is awesome. Let me share this little video from Crypto Eddie before I get into the Murad thing. This is the Reese Merrick talking about the Ripple stablecoin. You want to see Jamie Dimon getting the word that yeah, let's do that. Getting the word from President-elect Donald Trump. Take a look.
Hi. President-elect Donald Trump sends a message to you that he respects you greatly, but you will not be part of the Trump administration as a Treasury Secretary. If that were something that were interesting to you.
First of all, I wish the president well and thank you. It's a very nice note. But I just want to tell the president also, I haven't had a boss for 25 years. I'm not about ready to start.
You know, USD backed stablecoin, which is what we're going to be launching with, is you look at the circulation of money. I think 60, give or take, 60% of payments are made in dollar, right? A lot of those payments are actually made outside of the US. So if you've got someone in Africa who wants to receive US dollars from here, there's a US dollar payment is going to bounce to the US before it then goes back to Africa. Extremely inefficient. So I think we'll see and continue to see an evolution of stable coins being used, you know, to the unbanked, firstly. Also within businesses, if you look at the GCC, how many currencies are pegged to the dollar, right? So there's 4 or 5, I think, in the countries in the Middle East. So therefore, then to be able to have a stable coin that can be issued and circulated to improve business processes and improve speed of payment is really something that we see the future when it comes to moving money.
So in any case, that's awesome. I'm wondering, somebody asked, Keyless asked this. So what's his name? Clayton, Southern District of New York. Ripple is waiting on the final approval from the New York Department, the NYDFS or whatever it's called. Will Clayton have something to do or say about that? Because he's getting the Southern District of New York position, right? Is that Attorney General of the Southern District of New York? So is that the deal? I don't know. So is that what you think? I don't know. Keyless, I don't think I've heard too much from the XRP army, quote unquote, about that appointment. But it's an interesting one for him to just pick Clayton. I just, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I do see a couple of Republicans already pushing back on some appointment, or at least one appointment with the Matt Gaetz dude. So we'll see how that's going to play out. You know, that politic crap is just that. It's politics for sure. Yeah. Property Rich says, I have a prediction that FLR will hit 20 cents in 2 weeks. Oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice. That is 17, 18x or so. That would be nice. So, got it. Keela says the Futureverse funding round led by 10T, which is Dan Tapieros. Now, I do remember him mentioning Futureverse, now that I think about it, in an interview. So he led the funding round. Yeah. So interesting to see Clayton. It's interesting to see Trump administration just reaching back, I think, with Clayton. So I don't know. Maybe there's just something, I don't know. I know Trump picked him before, right? For the SEC gig. So I don't know. I know he's definitely not a favorite of the XRP community in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Right? Let's see. Is there something else I want to cover with you guys? I'll share some of Raoul Paul stuff.
Right, let's get going. I've waited enough. You guys have kindly joined on the platform. Let's do the charts. Okay. Drinks with Raoul, the macro investing tool. Told you all about it. Real Vision Plus. You guys who are on the free tier, you might want to sign up or wait a few days because there's a Black Friday deal coming. So don't rush in. I didn't tell you that. Marketing will kill me. This, my friends, is the banana zone. This is when we've had 8 months of consolidation. You've all lost your fucking minds. And then the simple God candle arrives. And suddenly we feel good. Lord Vishnu blesses us with the God candle. And we can all go about our business thinking we're the smartest people in the world. But we're not really. It's actually driven by global liquidity. You've all seen this chart before. Every time global liquidity breaks out, it goes through this consolidation pattern. As liquidity tightens, it breaks out. Crypto breaks out with it. Now, global liquidity is contracting right now, but it did break out to a new high. It's expected to break out going forwards, and I'll show you that in a second. So we're at the point where crypto does really well, which is the banana zone. Crypto follows global liquidity. Does it really well? It's got an 87.5% correlation. Global liquidity is forecast by our models at Global Macro Investor to keep going forwards. If you want to know more about the models, you get a lot more of that in Pro Macro and how to apply them, or the macro investing tool. Again, pitching the services, because I am trying to help you guys. And really, whether you're paying $6,000 or $600 or $3,500 for the Pro, or waiting until Black Friday, honestly, you'll make your money back. It's simple as that, and a big return on it, and you'll feel like you know what you're talking about. Global liquidity comes in these seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Again, I've covered these a lot. We are in summer. If you look at the summer periods of that weird mustard orange, we always have a strong market in liquidity. So that's the debasement of currency that makes our number go up. Our number go up is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the benchmark asset. And again, we go further out the risk curve. Late summer and fall is all about the risk curve. We'll come on to that. But if you look at the mustard periods, it's always gone up in summer. In fact, so is the NASDAQ. All risk assets always go up. Election years, same thing. Presidential election cycle, all the same thing. And then in fall, we tend to have a good rally, and then we top out eventually. Twice it's been at the end of the year. Once it's been kind of towards the end of the year with that weird double top pattern, which I don't think will be repeated. But everyone has PTSD from. All you fuckers have PTSD because once it didn't extend. And everyone's like, oh my God, I need to sell early. I need to sell early. I get it. I will help you with this. You'll see some of the things, the indicators that will help you. I will try and get you to get that right. I didn't get it right either. I bought ETH call options at the high, expecting it to go. I mean, luckily it was only 5% of my portfolio. I get trolled on Twitter endlessly, like he went max long at ETH at the high. No, I didn't. I bought call options, 5% of my portfolio. Failed miserably. But I'll do my best to help. And again, I can't promise anything. Global M2, another indicator of private sector liquidity. Bitcoin and that, very good. We're having a little correction now.
Just a little side note here. Mike Tyson fight with Jake Paul, is that now happening now? Is that coming? What's going on?
Fight. Actually, I went to that fight, Tyson versus Spinks. We got there, we got to our seat. I had to use the bathroom.
Oh man. So did you guys hear anything about this fight? Is it happening? I thought it was supposed to be happening this weekend. Is it happening today? What's going on? Let me know in the chat if you guys know. Let me continue on. Raul Paul. I don't know. Me and Miss Crypto C's are thinking about going to the Miami Real Vision event. I like the way they're doing it with it's not the convention, it's a get together, but it's not the conventional sitting in the seat, listening to speakers. They're gonna just do a bunch of like live events. Just a lot of different live events where people just come together. And I think that's pretty awesome. So it's gonna be 6, 7, 8 different kind of events. DJs. He says he's got a lot of world famous DJs that are part of Real Vision. That's what he said. You're going to have pool events. They're going to have boating events. They're going to have club nights and, you know, all different kind of different things. And it's going to be several $100s per ticket. But it is Miami and it is a time to hang out with people like-minded who like crypto. And you just pick a thing you want to go to and then you go to that thing. So you get to enjoy other kind of crypto people and you get to enjoy, you know, whatever the event's kind of going on. Right? It's just kind of like a win, right? I mean, I think. And so I kind of like the idea of doing it. You know, kind of pick an event and pick an event or two, whatever your deal is, and go from there. Don't know which one Raul Paul is going to go to or which ones. Don't really care. I'm not a big me personally. I'm not a big, you know, follow some person around thing. That's not my deal. But meeting other crypto enthusiasts in Miami, you know, taking advantage of that would be cool for sure. We visited a couple of times, had a nice stay there. So we'll see how it is. We might be, you know, might be getting to that. So let me guys know if you guys are interested in that Miami event.
I don't think it comes back to 80,000, but who knows? But either way, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Even better, GMI total global liquidity, 10-week lead. It's been spot on, kids. Spot on. Will it always be spot on? No idea. But it tells us that we should be early to mid-December, hit 100,000, and then have a bit of a correction. That makes sense because a lot of people square their positions, take profits, etc. Particularly now the institutions are there, they do their rebalancing. So then let's say we'd have a 20% pullback from, I don't know, 100,000 back to 80,000. And then you have the base ripping rallies. Everybody comes in with a fresh P&L at the beginning of the year and by kind of first week of January.
So it's great to, again, where can you get this out in TradFi? Where can you get this kind of inside big picture info? Other than the digital asset space, when can you get it? This dude charges major money. I mean, major money to his GMI investors for this exact chart that he's sharing with you and I. And it's the #1 subscriber investment newsletter in the world. It's #1. Yeah. #1 in the world. Hedge fund billionaires pay for his stuff. And you got a YouTuber trying to throw shade at Rao, or people on X throwing shade, saying he don't know what he's talking about. Like, it's fascinating to me to see an XRP YouTuber throwing shade at a guy who billionaires pay for to get his information. It's just, yeah, it's pretty funny. Meanwhile, promoting Link2 instead. All kind of love for Link2.
We just start ripping and it becomes an unbuyable period of the banana zone. Happened last year, actually. So Bitcoin halving seasons,
So anyway, he's saying 100,000 BTC in December. Awesome, with about a 20-25% pullback. Awesome. And then January kind of moving forward in the spring, you know, that type of deal. So with that being the case, we're probably going to take our first lifestyle chips in March. I'll kind of do that. Kind of do that right before the birthday month, you know, and Miss Crypto Seas wants to do a, you know, big celebration, you know, so we'll see how that is. She says there's no seeing. Oh, there's no seeing. We're doing it. So, you know, we'll do some kind of, you know, that'll probably be it. Probably March, and then December of 2025 will be our kind of two big ones. And that'll be kind of it. We'll have the stablecoin portfolio. We'll grow the stablecoins in the bear. I'm still back and forth between 5 or 10% of Solana and SWI. I'm kind of it with that. I think everything else is 100% exit. Property Rich, what do you think? So let's say if I have an AI token or a gamer token, that's probably 100%. But I think since we're going to be participating in Solana and DeFi, keep 5 to 10% of the Solana bag, and somewhere between 5 to 10% of the SWI bag as well. And Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin exit is going to be 1 to 5%. That's going to be it. Because for me, the goal, for me, not financial advice, for me, the goal is to continue to grow the Bitcoin bag to having enough Bitcoin. We don't have enough Bitcoin, in my opinion. So that's kind of our goal. The goal is the mantra back of 2016, which was the reason why we have altcoins is to get more Bitcoin. That was the mantra. That was the ethos. 2017, 2018, it flipped because the altcoins run was crazy and everybody lost their mind and forgot the ethos. So including myself, right? Because we had, you know, we were in Bitcoin, it was like 600 Bitcoin when we were in this space. So in 2016. And God knows what Ethereum was. I don't even remember what it was. So anyway, that's kind of our deal there. So that's kind of how we're going to do it. The last time what we did, we took wins and alts and we reinvested in other alts that hadn't moved yet. And that worked, except we put those alts on Celsius and you know what happened with Celsius, right? So we made a bad custody decision, right? That's our lesson. That's our lesson. That's our pain lesson. It was a painful one, but it's a lesson and we learn from it. It wasn't that the latter alts moving didn't win. They won, but we were cussing them at the wrong place for 5% interest, 6%, 8%, 12% interest. It was a bad custody decision, not a bad altcoin choice. It's a bad custody decision. So now we learn from that, right? We won't be doing that, right? All right, let's continue to listen on. Yeah, let me guys know what are you guys exiting? When you exit out of your altcoins, how much are you exiting? Now, FLR is a different story. A little bit of a different story. Because the FLR flywheel economy is happening during the cycle. Like all these other altcoins, BitTensor, they don't have a flywheel economy. What about Render? Render doesn't have a flywheel economy going on right now. What about FET, artificial superintelligence, the three AIs in one thing? But there is no flywheel economy, right? So that one is just, quite frankly, that's, it's just different for us because it's going on. It's happening now. And it's going to, the vast majority of the flywheel economy is going to continue on till January 2026, which is completely after, for the most part, after the bull run, right? And so don't really need to make a decision on FLR, in my opinion, just my opinion, it's not financial advice, until, last week in December, first week in January, something like that. Right? So, lifestyle chips in March of 2025 is not going to include FLR for us. And in December, we'll have to really look at it and see how much the appreciation is, because again, we got this flywheel economy going on, and that cash flow is going to be awesome. So we'll have to figure that out and see how much FLR are we going to continue to hold, and we have to figure that out. Maybe it's 20 to 30% we keep. Maybe it's the highest one we keep the biggest percentage of us besides Bitcoin. Because this is its first cycle. We're sweet, right? This is its first cycle. Solana's had a couple of cycles. So I'm really curious to see what the risk adjusted reward asset looks like for FLR in November and December. What is launched? What is working? How many projects? Do they come out with some AI thing? Is there another partnership? It's going to be really interesting to see what FLR risk adjusted reward asset looks like in the fall of 2025.
We're in the pinky one at the bottom. It's now in line with the 2016-17 halving, which is, I think, the most likely outcome, and dragging behind the previous halving because the liquidity was front-end loaded because of the pandemic, and then back-end it got taken out early. This time around, it's more normal. It's very similar to 2016 cycle, where liquidity was given by the Chinese, and the US didn't add enormous amounts of liquidity. Very similar this time around, trading very similar to that time. Here is that cycle versus today's cycle. And as you can see, very, very similar. Right. I'm eating my snack because you got to eat and drink at the same time. Because if not, you become uncivilized too fast in the evening, which I tend to do on these talks, but we'll see how we go. Right. Moving forward. So I'm running so fucking late already.
Probably.
Bitcoin seasonality, blah, 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 up.
Oh, I don't know.
Bananas. Bitcoin last year versus this year, been playing out very similar, bananas. Ethereum now versus the previous periods is following the last cycle in Bitcoin. Now, whether it gets to the target here, 20,000 ETH, who the fuck knows? Doesn't really matter, but directionally, you can see what happens. ETH should accelerate from here. I'm pretty confident that it will. The other thing is back to the macro, because the macro drives everything. The Institute of Supply Managers Survey, the ISM, that's the guide to the business cycle. You know, how much money is your business earning? How much money are you earning? It's all hidden in that thing, and it's still low, which is why a lot of us feel like, oh, the economy's not really working yet. But the forward-looking financial conditions, which is based about rates and the dollar and oil prices, are forward-looking basis, very positive for the business cycle. So we should see a lot of kind of economic activity and feel-good factor within ourselves ahead. So that's very important because it drives altcoin season. We care about altcoin season because that's when you make the big fucking bucks. Altcoin season, here's altcoin's percentage of Bitcoin total market cap. We are likely to, we follow the ISM, as the ISM I've shown you is going to pick up. Well, what we're going to see is altcoins dominance rising massively and Bitcoin dominance falling, and us being able to make a lot of money in the smaller stuff rather than Bitcoin. Smaller stuff, you know, for me, the bets for me are Solana and Sui, but you all choose your own, whatever that may be. And that's fine. I don't want to argue about what tokens, what here. I'll leave that to you, but don't go out too much out of your ski tips, out of the risk curve. Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, everything else is more speculative. Remember that. So even when I talk about Sui, and you know I'm on the board of Sui, and so I am shilling it, but I'm actually not shilling it because I actually care about being buying it in the open market myself, because I think it outperforms everything. You still shouldn't, if you're not a professional and you don't know what you're doing, God's sake, don't overweight this stuff too much. I don't want you to fuck it up because Raoul mentioned Sui a couple of times. Do not do that. Altcoins as a percentage of whether they're outperforming Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. No, not yet. We're just starting. We had the basing pattern. Now we're going to start. Might be a bit more chopping around, but alt season is here. That's Banana Zone's signature. Crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, breaking out. We should see a gigantic acceleration. Look at the acceleration we had back in 2020.
So there it is there. Let me copy this so you guys can check this out for yourself. I just think it's pretty cool that, again, we can kind of get this information. What's going on, Kyle Timor? You know, from someone like Raoul Paul, we get a chance to level up our IQ in the digital asset space. I'm part of Real Vision Plus. I don't know where that is in all the tiers, stuffy they got going on. They got so many different tiers there, but it's kind of where it is. Joe Bud, what's going on, Joe Buddy? How are you, bro? Lawrence Williams says Celsius was the worst. Yes, sir. It's a big learning for us, for sure. You know, they took all the digital assets. Judge made a decision that it wasn't ours, that it was Celsius. It's a tough lesson for sure. They put us in the chapter 11. They didn't treat us as digital asset owners. They treated us as TradFi, creditors. So it was brutal, but it was a big time lesson for sure. Joe says, does anyone have XRP AMM's numbers by now? It's been over 6 months. How much gain percentage? No. Right now, it's not a lot of active activity going on there. I was in a couple of pools, Joe. I'm out of those pools, and I haven't been looking at the numbers or checking that stuff out. Community is everything in any ecosystem, any token ecosystem. But it's not just the number of the size of the community, it's the active participation. And it is not there currently. Keela says he was on Diary of a CEO. I'm like, finally, LOL. Yeah, that was a good interview. I watched that. Somehow Raoul Paul was on the podcast Diary of a CEO. Yeah, it was really good interview. Joe Buddy says, Q4 2025, I will be 90% sold out no matter what. Of all your crypto, Joe, I'm kind of in the same, situation. Property rich, I think that Raoul Pal personally, I think he gets the retail person better than anyone in the space. That's me personally. I think that is. I think he gets the retail person, and I think he understands where they are, and I think he has a genuine desire to help them. And I love that he says 90% Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. I love that he says that. And 10% for other stuff. Because there are people out there who are like, it's only Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are people like Tapiero, Scaramucci, big hedge fund, New York hedge fund people, or whatever. They're like, yeah. And a lot of them are Bitcoin only. Don't even mess around with any alts. Like they're just Bitcoin only, Cardone, he's like a Bitcoin only guy. And I like him, Gary Cardone. I mean, Raoul Pal actually got into it with who's the Bitcoin MicroStrategy guy? Who's that MicroStrategy guy? He got into him with him, and because Michael Saylor was trying to say all the altcoins are securities. The SEC is right for calling them securities, and Raw was like this altcoins is how regular people win, and he was like, you sound like a. He tried to throw shade at Raoul Pal for, fighting or sticking up for retail, where Michael Saylor was only sticking up for accredited investors. So I think he's more for retail. You don't think that Solana will make you rich? Property rich? Yeah, I think that it's like, I don't see how that makes any sense at all. I think if you have Solana, you can be massively rich, if you own Solana. Yeah. Because like, it's like people, it's everything is in cycles. So you can establish from $100 or $1,000 to $100,000 this cycle. Then if you're in the Solana ecosystem during the bear cycle, and if you know what you're doing, you can increase your stables and your Solana for the next cycle. Like you have to know what you're doing. And the biggest challenge I see right now for retail is that they only rely on the bull run. Like it's the bull run. That's it. This is how I'm going to make my wealth. This is how I'm going to get wealthy. And that is incomplete. It's just incomplete. Yeah, I mean, if you're buying it now, obviously, if you're buying anything now, it's not going to make you rich. Right? We're in the depths. We're in we're getting ready to go parabola. We're getting ready to go parabola. So yeah, you should be buying Solana now necessarily. I mean, because of where it is kind of in the cycle. But if you get the idea and concept of net year-over-year return, those three are producing it, and the others, including CYA, is not. Including FLR, is not producing net year-over-year, which is holding it net year-over-year is returning you money by holding it. We call that the MAG 7. We got the MAG 7. Just like TradFi has the FANG or MAG 7. And I think they went from FANG to MAG 7 because somebody dropped in Another person dropped in and another one, maybe NVIDIA dropped in and some other thing dropped out of the FANG or something like that. So Joe Buddy says, yep, all of my crypto, I will be 90% sold out by the end of 2025. I hear you, bro. Buying back in approximately quarter 3 or quarter 4 of 2026, quarter 1, 27, quarter 1, 29, where there is blood in the streets. I like the strategy. I like. Right. And time in the market includes the bear market. It includes the bear. It's not just the bull. And that's the challenge that I see people. They think it's just the bull. Like there are people who just completely exit out. They're gone, done. They're going out and living life. And that's awesome. And they're not taking advantage of the bear because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it in DeFi. Right? They don't know how to do it. Level up your stablecoin portfolio in the bear, right? It gives you more money to buy the alts after the 75 to 95% retrace in the bear. That's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? You just got to kind of know the strategy, And then I think another thing, just like Raul Paul said, I think is interesting. Raul Paul would also said, you got to have some form of income. Gary Cardone going ham on people like, you should be having 2 or 3 jobs. You need to be having as much income as possible coming in, But, he's talking about for Bitcoin only, though, He actually made some funny comments trying to throw shade on XRP, Gary Cardone did. Yeah, but if you want to learn how to grow your stable coins in the bear market, you should join our Patreon for sure. Patreon.com/Gulf Whiskey Mastermind. Learn how to grow your stable coin during the bear. And then you got to have strategies around that, right? You got to have strategies around growing your stable coins, growing your bull run bag in the bear market in preparation for the next bull run, right? And if you're cash flowing the way you should cash flow, you can pay bills, you can make payments, all from your stablecoin cash flow bags, right? Lucifer 7-Eleven Morningstar. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, 7-Eleven Morningstar? So that's kind of the deal there for sure. Learn how to do that. It'll be awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It'll be an awesome thing. Because a lot of people think, after the bull cycle, that's it. Whatever I made is what I made. No, you can grow what you made. You can grow the stable coins. It's the skills. We got to learn those skills. Yeah. So we found out 7-Eleven. Gary Cardone shared that the early Bitcoiners got lucky. They didn't know what they were doing. Gary Cardone is kind of being able to position himself in these meetings, in these rooms. He hangs out with the Cantor Fitzgerald dude and other OG BTC maxis. And the vast majority of the BTCers bought Bitcoin. Let's say that the 11 and 13 Bitcoiners, they kind of, were fortunate to be where they were, but they didn't dollar cost average strategy until today. They didn't do it. So they were just, he says they were lucky. I'm not going to say they were lucky, but he says that they were lucky. And what basically he said is 2017, 2018 Bitcoiners actually ended up with more Bitcoin than the 2011 and 2013 Bitcoiners. which is fascinating to hear that. But in any case, so, I mean, I was a 2016 Bitcoiner, you know, and Ethereumer, you know, so that was interesting to hear that for sure. But I still think we go back to that ethos of 2016 and 2017, which was, you know, the reason why we have all these altcoins, right? No, why do we have all these altcoins? It's so we can get more Bitcoin. That's kind of how I play it until, but now I add the Mag 7s to that. I add the Mag 7s. What's the asset that I can hold that will net return, you know, 50% up to 200%, up to 250% net year over year? Right now, that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. SWI is 10%. SWI hasn't proven that net year over year. It may have a good cycle this cycle, but it hasn't proved to be a Mag 7. Solana has. Ethereum has. Bitcoin has. And so on a journey to becoming a sophisticated investor, we got to learn about ergodicity. We got to learn about the 90-10, in my opinion, how to properly allocate the portfolio, how to protect for the downside, all these different things. And it's funny, I use Casper as a great example of what we call the 90-10. The Casper network, the Casper token, all great promises, great ecosystem, all this stuff. And then one day, the creator of that network decides to leave and go to another chain. How do you protect for something like that? And my understanding is this phenomenal technology going over there. How do you protect for that move like that? In my opinion, you have to put the Casper token in the 10% bucket, which means if you have $100, 90 goes into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, or a combination thereof, and $10 goes into Casper. That protects for a move like the creators of the Casper network, which was Casper Labs, did. Right? Who expected that to happen? They created this awesome new product. I think it was Prove AI. And they take that product to another blockchain. How do you protect for something like that? How do you protect from the unexpected move from Flare Labs? How do you protect from that? In my opinion, the thing that makes the most sense to me is to have a proper allocation of the dirty, nasty fiat. Maybe for you, it's 80-20 and it's not 90-10. Here's what I know it's not. It's not 100% all in on the Casper token. Because of what it could do in a bull run. It's not 100% all in on BitTensor. You know, it's AI, it's this LLM, it's gonna be the world changing. What about all those people that are 100% in on WorldCoin? There's people out there right now 100% all in on WorldCoin. A hugely successful investor said you have to protect for the downside. You have to be able to recover from Casper Labs building out a product and deciding to put that new product on another blockchain. Gotta be able to protect from that. Got to be able to protect from that. Right? And for me, I always look at it this way. I'm looking for the asset, 7-Eleven. I'm looking for the asset that I can hold long term. I'm not looking for how much money I can make in the bull cycle. I'm looking for the asset that I can hold 10, 15 years. That's what I'm looking for. What's that asset? Is it BitTensor? I'm looking for that. So until they prove out, I put them in the 10% bucket. If I got $1,000, I'm putting 900 of it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, a combination thereof. Most likely the combination is Bitcoin and Solana. I'm putting $100 in. I think this has a chance to be a Mag 7, and that would be FLR. So for whatever the FLR does during the bull cycle, awesome. Awesome. I take it. But I understand it's a new blockchain. All of its potential has not been launched, has not been proven. It's still early days. So I take my 3 to 8x over here, the $900 in Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, or a combination thereof. I take my $100 and I get some allocation in meme coins. I get some allocation in AI coins. I get some allocation in gaming coins. I get some allocation in RWAs. I get some allocation into FLR, which I would say is layer ones. I forgot layer ones. So I get some allocation in the layer ones with FLR, with SOE. I get some allocations there. And whatever that 10% does, awesome. Then I'm just studying it, man. I'm just studying it. Just saying what's going to prove out? What's going to win and grab market share? What's going to be building in the bear? What's going to survive the bear? Projects don't survive bear markets. What's going to survive the bear market? These are all considerations that I've learned since 2016. And I kind of go from there. Joe Buddy says, the problem with holding Bitcoin the entire time, you watch it go up and go down too much. Yeah, it's volatility, but if you're really paying attention, Bitcoin has historically had higher highs and higher lows. If you're paying attention to the charts, look at the charts. So if it's still netting you 50% year over year, including the 70% retrace. So you just treat it, for me, I just treat it like savings. And I know that no matter what, I'm going to get a 50% increase, 40 to 50% increase, no matter what. And that includes calculating the 75% retraces. Ethereum is about 100, I think 100%, 100, yeah. And Solana is about 150 to 200%. If I know that, then I know that. So when I keep a certain percentage of Solana that I'm just kind of keeping, I know I'm kind of adding, and I can also participate in DeFi to grow that added savings. Because in DeFi, you can get more Solana in a bear market. So you can get more of an asset that net year over year for just holding it is giving you about 200%. You just learn how to get more of that thing, right? And so it's not just about the bull run. People keep making it about it's just the bull run, that type of deal like that. What I look at is I look at the asset classes, and I look at the best performing asset class, and I stay in that asset class. And I learn how to leverage all the things of that asset class. I learn how to leverage the bull run. I learn how to leverage the bear run. I learn how to leverage the altcoins. I learn how to leverage DeFi. All of this is part of the asset class. It's the best performing asset class. There isn't an asset class that comes close to it. Nothing comes even close to it. Not NASDAQ, S&P, not real estate, not oil, not gas, nothing compares as an asset class. Okay? But if you don't know how to navigate it, it can be troublesome. Yeah, but you don't have to sell it to get more. Joe, that's a good question. But if you know it has a 70% release, why not sell and buy back and get more Bitcoin? Because you don't have to sell Bitcoin to get more Bitcoin. You sell the altcoins to get more Bitcoin, right? You sell the altcoins, you take your 10, 20, 30, 40, 50X, whatever you get some altcoins, you exit, you have some stables, and then you wait for the 75% retrace in Bitcoin. You know it's coming. And if you're in the market every day, you know when it's coming. There are actually charts out there that'll let you know when that 75% is coming. There's a guy, I think it's called On the Chain. It's called On the Chain. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's got, subscription thing or whatever. And you got Into the Cryptoverse. Both places will let you know when that 75% thing is coming. Both channels. One has more of a paid thing than the other, but they both have it. You just got to be willing to invest in yourself to get the paid version so you can get that information. Both of them have it. Now, the on-chain one is a little more detail in that he does the, what is that thing called? Like the DCA down, right? He does that. Like he likes to do that. I don't. So what I mean, Bitcoin goes to 200,000 tops. He has this thing where, okay, let's DCA now. It's at 50%. So now here we go. First purchase at 100, next purchase at 75, next purchase at 80, next purchase at 75, something like that. He has that. He does that thing. So he DCAs down. But they both have the tools to track the 75%. What do you call it? Retrace that historically happens with BTC, right? And so you can acquire more BTC that way. And that's what we're doing this cycle, is we'll be buying more BTC, leveraging the alts, right? And so because I just don't think you can tell someone today, oh, your goal is to get more Bitcoin? Okay, just dollar cost average. Like I don't know if you can ever get to a Bitcoin. I don't know if you can kind of catch up. I don't think you can with just a dollar cost average strategy. only, right? So we DCA, the family DCAs, and but we're going to make big purchases. We're going to make the lump sum purchases as well. And when we make the lump sum purchases, probably two, up and, when Bitcoin's doing its thing, we're still DCAing every, for us, 2 to 3 times a month, we're still DCAing. Doesn't matter what Bitcoin's going up to, 100, 150, doesn't matter. We're still DCAing. But the chunk purchase is going to come from the wins from alt, and then the kind of, 2 purchases in the retrace. It's like it's a comprehensive strategy. What's going on, XRP Kelly? What's Primark? That's a good point. 7-Eleven. Owning BTC doesn't give you the right to vote on the future of the network. It's very, very true. It's very, very true. So that's kind of how I see it. That's kind of how we're playing it, for sure. Taking a little bit of Raoul Pal strategy, taking a little bit of into the cryptoverse and on the chain, kind of taking some stuff we gained from those 3 people, coming up with our own strategy and leveraging DeFi. So it's a comprehensive thing to grow your bull run bag, to grow your Bitcoin stack, to create cash flow, all of those things. And that's really, really cool because, we got this cycle and then we got the next cycle to kind of do its thing, try to do that thing, get to that multi-millionaire strategy, like we got people in the channel that are in that spot already. So that's the goal, right? And then kind of, do its thing. But I love the idea. Love the idea of winning in DeFi, buying, other altcoins. I love that. I loved it. I was so excited to just take some wins from a DeFi position to buy more FLR. Get this DeFi position just hanging out, churning. It's just hanging out, it's churning, getting this rewards, getting these trading fees, just coming in. Oh, okay, awesome. FLR, awesome. Bitcoin, awesome. Solana, I love it. Take those gains, go buy these assets. Woo. I love that. All right, fam. So I'm gonna hop off here. Oh, what's going on with this chat? Oh, this chat is way behind. I appreciate you guys being here, man. It's been a really, really cool hang for sure. Lucifer, 7-Eleven, thanks for checking in. I appreciate that. XRP Kelly, Property Rich, my guy. Appreciate you being here. Joe Buddy, thanks for hanging out today on a Friday. Leo Messi's in the building. I appreciate you checking in, my guy. I said everybody, XRP. Joe, Kyle Timor, thanks for hanging out. Pookie, Keyless, we appreciate you guys. Blue Wrenchers, checking in today. Alec G, your XRP is doing a little something, Alec G. I'll be happy about that. Devon, Steve, appreciate you checking in. Michael Marchese and Donald, appreciate you guys checking in today for sure. Legendary, the Blue Wrencher, appreciate you checking in. The Real Big Bro, appreciate you checking in today, bro. Hi, bro. Thanks for hanging out. Cali Cat, we appreciate you guys being here for sure. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.